Sexual misconduct is a form of highly inappropriate behavior. I have been subject to this a few times in the last not very long, few months, and so this is kind of boiled up, and so here it is. This is a video about it. So like off the internet, you look it up, it says sexual misconduct is misconduct of a sexual nature which exists on a spectrum that may include a broad range of sexual behaviors considered unwelcome. And so like it says, this is something that exists. It has many faces. And so the thing is, it's like, so it can be that is like sexual harassment, where somebody is like bothering somebody or making advances at somebody, where that they don't consent, or they don't want, are not welcome. It is not appropriate. So that's a form of it. Something that I've had to deal with here is, so it's just people having sex. You know, it's like I live in a shared space, and this is my home. And for some reason, the people who also occupy this shared space have chosen to have loud sex when I'm at home. You know, this happened the other day, or yesterday. It was Sunday evening, and I'm definitely home. I mean, when my car is here, I am here. And it's like, what am I supposed to do when this happens, when it takes place? I feel violated. The sanctity of my home, this is my sacred space, and it has been violated. I feel like my right to peace has been infringed upon. And it's like, you know, like, how could you be so inconsiderate? How could you be so disrespectful? It's like, you know, if you're going to live in a shared space, you have to realize that your surroundings, so that you don't affect others in a way that is inappropriate. And so it's like, you know, the way that I think about it is like, so imagine that there was a child down here. Of course, in that kind of a scenario, it's highly inappropriate. So, but then what is the difference between myself as an adult? Do I not deserve the same type of respect that you would give a child? I don't want to hear that stuff. You know, when you are exposed to content of a sexual nature, especially from like people that you know, it's like it burns itself into your memory. You can't forget it. You can't unsee things. You can't unhear things. And it frustrates you, because then it puts you into a position where then you need to be this person who either does something about it or waits for it to happen again. And I didn't think that I would have to face this issue twice. It happened before, and it's like the people who I rent off of, it was them. And it's like, you know, I'm down here and they've lived down here. And so it's like, you know how sound travels in the house, like in a shared space. There's all kinds of, you know, we can hear each other cough. You can hear each other cooking, going to the bathroom. You know, you can like sound travels, especially in this particular place. It's not insulated against sound by any means. And so it's like, okay, so you know I'm down here and you know how sound travels. So it's like you made a choice. You made a choice to not care that I'm here. To you know, this is abuse. Neglect is a form of abuse. When you don't take into consideration that there is somebody there that does not want to hear that kind of stuff, does not want to be exposed to your moaning and groaning and yelling and the banging noises. It's just like, you know, what a horrible thing to put a person in that kind of a situation. You know, this is why it was like, it's an offense. It's highly offensive, and this is why like Louis C.K. was hung out to dry, because the guy, even though he is a comedian who talks really dirty stuff, you know, he was sitting there apparently, as I understand it, with some people, and he pulled out his genitalia and started fondling himself until he, you know what? I mean, and it's like, that's so inappropriate, because how is a person supposed to forget that kind of a thing? It burns into their memory. You know, how rude. How dare you treat me like that? You know, yeah, I am absolutely furious. I'm angry, but like in a good way. Like, to me, anger is an emotion that I feel when I witness something that I feel is so incongruent with what I understand to be correct, that it's like I either have to do something about it, I have to say something, I have to speak up, or else this will live inside of me and it will eat me alive. So, you know, all I'm saying is like, if you know, people do have sex, people make love, and that's one thing, but you have to be aware of your environment and the impact that doing it in whatever way suits you can have on somebody else. This is like taking a toll out of me. You know, and it's funny because it's like we just established the quiet times and the respect that is supposed to be in this house, in this shared space. And I've sent messages, I've received nothing back in return. There's been no apologies, there have been no communication. Yeah, so that's the kind of people I'm dealing with. And I am so glad that I have gotten this off of my chest. Now I can move on with my life, and at least I've shared my sentiments with somebody. And I hope that if somebody else is dealing with this and maybe they Google my video and just some of these words can help, because it took a lot for me to get to this point where I was ready to make a video about this, you know, to where I had enough pieces of this puzzle to put it together in such a way that it like made enough sense to address this issue head on. How dare you?